Welcome to my COMP3005 database description and overview video for the final project here. I'm going to quickly go over some of the different parts of my database and explain them throughout as I go. So currently you should see the home page of my application to interact with the database. I created a JavaScript server and web app on this just for some ease of use and nice features on it. So I'm going to jump over to the database overview page here, which I've included, which just adds a little short description about the project, and then also the ER model and table schema, which we can jump between here. So to start with, just what this project overall is and what the database is I have queried a bunch of data from the Steam Web API, which is for Valve's Steam platform, and it allows users who purchase games on that platform to view different stats about their games and everything. So I've taken much of that information, I've refined it and condensed it to the information that I wanted to display. And then I've put that in a database and then allowed users of this application to then interact with that data and display it in different forms. So what the project is in essential terms is that it is a refinement of that and simplification and streamlining of that overall process. So quickly looking at the ER model here on screen, I'll talk about the different relationships and different aspects of the database that I've included. So namely, I have a user entity here that contains different information about users, such as username, the date joined, friends that users have, and an ID that lets me store it. And then I have reviews, which store title, content, that sort of information, as well as games, which store the relevant information about games, and then achievements, which store different unlockables for the games. So in this ER model here, we can see the different attributes and all their primary, or all the attributes for entities and all their primary attributes there, as well as I have three end-to-end relationships here. The games owned relation, the unlock achievements relationship, and the friends with relationship are all end-to-end relationships, and I have fulfilled the minimum 3 entity requirement in that respect. All right, moving over to the table schema here, I can just show this quickly and show that the table schema is a almost direct mapping of the ER model. The tables there described are mapped almost directly into that. Okay, next we can go to just the home page again and see the overview, and then quickly we will jump over to the interacting with data section of this database. So I have a few leftover JavaScript recommendations for interactions there, but we can start by searching for both users and games at the same time in this project. So one of the primary uses of this would be, say, searching for either of these things. Let's start with just SA. We can see here that we get a list of a number of different games that have been queried and stored in the database, as well as different users. This one is my personal account, so we can check out some of the information on my personal account, and this also serves as this is the primary search function, then this serves as a sort of refinement on that search. In the initial search, we looked for entities in the database that that have something matching the string SA in them. So now we can do a refinement on that search, searching under my user ID, which is not displayed here, but also under my username, we can then see a variety of different pieces of information about my account. We can see different friends listed, different games I own, different reviews that I have left. These ones have been AI generated as they cannot be queried from the Steam Web API, but the rest of this information is actually accurate to the last point that I ran the querying on the Steam Web API. So a further refinement that we can do on the game, for example, is we can click on the games that a user owns, and we can head down here to check out, say, Borderlands 2, for example, which I've been playing recently. It shows my total playtime on the game, the price when the game was released, various other information about it, as well as it shows any of the reviews left by users. This one just happens to be a review that I left on this game. And then we can also review a number of different achievements. Some are dynamically blacked out depending on whether they've been achieved or not in the game, or in the game. Sorry. If I jump back to the user profile and database interaction portal, I can also search for one of my friend's profiles here. And if we check out his profile, we can see that he has also played Borderlands 2. And if we go check out his profile in Borderlands 2, it shows much of similar information that was shown on mine. Again, we see the review that I left on my other account shown here this time as well. So what I just showed there was an example of an end-to-end query in action in the database, whereas games can be owned by multiple users and multiple and or yes, so users can own multiple games down the list, as well as games can be owned by multiple users, whereas both Saber22 and Milmar own Borderlands 2, and Borderlands 2 is owned at present in multiple libraries. So finally, I will just switch over to my other screen to look at the actual code running this quickly. And as we can see here, we have the JavaScript code for running my server here, and I'm just going to quickly show that I am in fact using SQLite query language in the server to get the information out of our database, which if I pull up the console here, we can see that I can show the tab here, and then I can open the database using SQLite 3, and it is in fact an SQLite 3 database, as we can see here. All right, I believe that concludes the demonstration I'll be providing of the database. Thank you for watching.